Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Darlene Williams. I am the co founder of the Black Authors Festival at Sag Harbor. Welcome to this segment of the Black Authors Festival at Sag Harbor's interview with one of our amazing honorees, the amazing, there are so many great things I could say about her, Thelma A. Sias. This is our inaugural event and we have selected some phenomenal professionals from across the country, and we are in their honor naming the awards. So this year, Thelma is receiving the Thelma A. Sias Civil Rights Humanitarian Award. Next year, the board will come together along with the co-founders, and we will nominate, and Thelma will have a say in that as well, and we will nominate the recipient of the Thelma A. Sias Civil Rights Humanitarian Award. It is for people who embody a humanitarian heart and spirit. Thelma, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a delight to see you.
So it's a delight to see you, and you look fabulous as usual. So,
Thank you
one
very
of I want to say is this. I've had the honor of being in your company a couple of times. One at your amazing home in North Carolina with your fabulous husband and your fabulous Kool-Aid. And I'm not talking about, hey, Kool-Aid on TV. I'm talking about this is some real good Southern homemade Kool-Aid that makes you want to lick your fingers.
much.
I'm still talking about it. Thank you so much. You know, you owe me the recipe for that, right?
If you really talk to me, I'll think about it.
Okay. But I just want to say from day one, I've been in awe of your accomplishments, because you have managed to accomplish so much in your lifetime. And also it has not been so easy. Like you've talked to me about colorism, you've talked to me about growing up in the deep South. You talked to me about growing up from a huge family, who you had to be told by your parents, like, yes, you work on a farm, but this is your farm. You own this farm. Your family owns this farm. Like, not to be ashamed. And like, your family had to check you and let you know, like, listen, be proud of where you come from and don't compare, and you do it with such grace, class, and elegance. And I just say thank you, because you have paved the way for so many of us, that there are not enough words to say thank you. So it is my honor and privilege, and I speak on behalf of Verdell when I say that you were the first person that we thought of when we thought about someone that we not only wanted to honor, but wanted to keep your legacy alive, because you are such a pillar of strength and you make it look beautiful, absolutely beautiful every single time. So, Thelma, I want you to take a moment and really talk, because one of the things you've come to know about me is that I don't like fluff, right? So I want you to really talk about, like, maybe a time that was difficult for you that you had to grow through and do it in a way where, the commercial where it says never let them see you sweat. How did you do that, and how did you feel as you were going through it, and what gave you the courage to just push through?
Well, first of all, let me say to you that the woman that stands before you today was made possible by two extraordinary people, my mother and father. Two people who believed in us having opportunity, two people who worked hard for that opportunity, two people who modeled what courage looked like and meant. So early in my life, as I had challenges, I saw the example of how to work my way through, around, and to the next side of a challenging issue. There's no question for me, the period in which we integrated the all white school system in my hometown was extremely difficult. To be pushed back, be told every day what you could and could not do, what you could and could not be. It began the process of knowing that life sometimes is not as easy as you want it to be. But the most critical things my parents said to me day in and day out, when others said I could not be because of the color of my skin, I should not be there because of the color of my skin, every day they said the same thing. Treat every person you meet with the same dignity and respect you so desire. And know that you're worthy every day. And that encouragement and that wraparound of unconditional love gave me the strength in early in my life to walk into complexities and deal with difficult times and difficult people, but never compromise my dignity and my self-respect. I learned from them. I saw how they did it over and over again. Countless other people from my small hometown of Myersville, Mississippi. Yes, they were afraid, but even with that fear, they walked with dignity and respect. So early on, I learned, early on, I saw the signs, early on, I was told how to think about not letting that get in your head, take you out of the game. A grandmother who could not read or write, and she said to me when I got suspended from school, don't you ever let anyone know what they can do, when they can do it, and how they can do it to take you out of the game. And those small pieces of wisdom, that incredible large chunk of courage, was what was put around me to stand me up when I felt like falling. It was that which I held on to when I thought I had no strength to stand. And it still today models my day from beginning to end.
Thank you. Because, especially today, when we will have so many people, especially in corporate America, right, who will smile in your face and say whatever, but meanwhile they're daggers in your back, right? So to be able to do that in corporate America as well as in your personal life, I mean, because you've been married for a certain number of years, I'm still a newlywed, and there are days
40 years, August 18th, it will be 40 years. Yes.
when
Yes.
see, and you make it look so easy,
But
and you do it with elegance.
it's not that it's easy. It is drawing the line in the sand. That line about respect and dignity. It's about knowing who you are and that you are. And as someone said to me the other day, whose you are, and not feeling that you have to change the other person, but learning how to respect them, learning how to earn their respect as they earn yours, but also knowing every day shouldn't be a fight, a battle.
Right,
Pick your days for the fight. Pick the battles you want to be in, and know that every time you go into a battle, there's no debate. You're going to win it. Every time there's a fight, you're going to win it either with your fists or mentally. You're going to take them out of the game. So the bigger part of this is not putting yourself in a position to be this person, that person. Be you. Be you at all times.
right.
Understand you at all times. Respect you at all times. And know what your limits are. And be very clear with people about this is me. This is how I function. This is the way in which we're going to maneuver through our complexities. And this is the way we're going to agree. And this is the day we just simply know we'll disagree. But we still got to get the job done. We
Right.
still got to work forward. We still got to make change happen. And it's okay for you to disagree with me. It's okay for you to dislike me. But all I say is when you dislike me, you're missing out on a great opportunity to meet a fine person.
Absolutely. I concur. 110% I concur. 210% I concur. So let me ask you, because you've accomplished so many great things, is there anything that you have not accomplished that you would like to, or that you're working on accomplishing now?
Well, there are three things. I'd like the ability to continue to maintain the quality of friendship, support, and love I have in a marriage with my husband, Steve Adams, the love of my life for 40 years. To maintain the quality of that, because every day you're hearing about how people are wandering away from each other and deciding that their lives would be separate. I want to maintain the quality of my life with him. I want to make sure that generations of nieces and nephews that are coming after me have the opportunity of exposure, education, travel, and being able to find their way and stand still in leadership in the world. But I do know, beyond any question of a doubt, one of the things I'm going to begin as soon as I get done with this interview, quite frankly, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell the story of African American women who came before me, but never got an opportunity to be heard. I'm going to tell the story of the wisdom that they passed on over and over again, but so often their words were not heard, their words were not picked up, and the power of that strength was not carried on. So I'm going to write a book, a series of books, quite frankly, and tell my story and tell their story and paint clearly about the courage of those that came before us, the courage of those who walked along beside us and oftentimes in front of us, and the investment they made to give us the opportunity to stand boldly and be all that we can be day in, day out.
So now, also, let me ask you because there's a lot of talk, and I just interviewed an amazing woman yesterday, Crystal Jordan, and she has a new book out, Dear Alpha Female. It's not him, it's you. What is your thought about? I have a bunch of thoughts about the alpha male, alpha female. What are your thoughts about alpha female?
Well, well, first of all, I think we all should have the ability to have a different perspective, a different approach. But we all have to know how to bring everybody into the room, at the table. And even when we look around, thinking everyone's there, we need to rethink it and bring another perspective in. We need to know that none of us survive independently and all by ourselves. None of us can be great by ourselves. We're always going to need a large uh, number of people to walk through our lives, walk with us in our lives, and be around us to carry forth the journey for us. So, what I'm most concerned about as we move forward, as we mature in our lives, as we grow into economic means, that we don't find ourselves segregating ourselves away and thinking that I can't do this with everybody. That's not true. None of us become great. None of us survive and build a life legacy without the influence and power of other people. So I think we must do that. We must continue to find out how do we link with each other, how do we strengthen each other, and how do we make sure that in all of the busyness and efforts to try to say how do we create the us?
Mm, I like that. And what is your definition of humanitarian?
Well, my definition first are the people that I think of. Um, my late parents, Roosevelt and Pauline Sias, my late grandmother, uh, Aurelia Creighton Heron, my late godfather, Clarence Hall, my big sister, Liz Sias Shannon, um, college professors who looked at this little country girl from Myersville, Mississippi, saw my potentials and all of my uh, uh, perspectives of opportunity. It's all of those men and women that names, yes, we know the late Dr. King and on, but there's so many unknowns. I was reading the story and proud about the recognition of the monument for Emmett Till and his mother. I think about going to Chicago for the Democratic National Convention in 2024, the place where the late Fannie Lou Hamer stood and said she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. But there are men and women's names that we don't know that are true humanitarians. You know why? They stood when people thought they should stand, sit down. They spoke out when it wasn't popular and common for them to do that. They were the ones who mopped those floors and cleaned those toilets. So I and others like me with dignity and respect, even after they're cleaning the toilets. We're talking about the ones who have so little in their pocket, but they stand as if they have millions. We're talking about the ones who, even when their shoes were all torn up, they still stood like they had new ones on. And we're talking about the ones who said to me day in and day out, I don't have much, but I want you to have more. Those are my humanitarians.
Well, Miss Thelma A. Sias, the Great. I always call you the Great. That's why we are honoring you with the Humanitarian Award. Actually, the full name is the Thelma A. Sias Civil Rights Humanitarian Award at the 2023 inaugural Black Authors Festival at Sag Harbor. Though you won't be there in person, your spirit will emanate and exude and embody everything that we do there because we really look up to you, we admire you, we honor you in every sense of the word. Um, and we um, can't say enough about how much we appreciate you, because I'm thankful that I have gotten an opportunity to know you. There are people who don't know you, but we're doing our best to make sure that more people get to know who you are, what you stood for, and what you stand for. And it's our honor to present you with this honor. And it's also our honor that, in future events, others who embody civil rights and humanity will be honored with the award in your name to keep your legacy alive. Thank you for accepting this honor. Um, there's there's so much I could say. We go on and on and on, but I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I love you, and you are it. I would like to present the wonderful, the magnificent Thelma A. Sias with the Thelma A. Sias Civil Rights Humanitarian Award, which will be presented to her on August 19th, 2023. She is virtual, but she will have the award. And as you saw on the screen, that is the award that we are presenting her with. And thank you, Thelma, for accepting this award.
I'd like to say again, thank you for this incredible honor to you and the entire team of those that have been involved in putting this extraordinary event together. To all of the other award recipients, I say congratulations. I encourage each of us as we receive these awards to take a moment and think about the extraordinary women that have been a part of making us who we are, clearing the pathway, shining the light, and patting us on our backs as we step forward. So again, I say thank you very much for this honor. And I would say to you, my mama would be extremely pleased and proud. And in her honor, I raise my hat, her hat, my mama's hat, to say thank you for the gift.